Okay, as I said in my blog on my new website, www.memorykeepsakesandtrinkets.com, I promised I would show how to make the envelope for the 6 by 3 card featured in the Stamping, Stationery, and Scrapbooking magazine that you can get at Hobby Lobby. This is one of the projects that was in there, and I really hope you can see some of that beautiful sparkle. Anyhow, I took white cardstock and I just kind of inked it up with a brayer and made it look all interesting, and I used some of this shimmer spritz. It's called Sparkle, and it's by, I'm not going to even try to butcher that one, but okay, Tsukinico, I guess. Anyway, you need to start with a 8x8 square. I'm using my Martha Stewart scoreboard, and you're going to score your A lines at 2 1/4. So lining up on the left side, I'm going to find 2 1/4. And I'm going to score straight down. Cardstock really is the best thing to use. And then I'm going to turn it completely around, get my A lines out of the way. I find that easier to do. Line it up. 2 1/4. Score that. Now I'm ready to do my B lines, which are going to be 3 3/4. So 3 3/4. Whoops, and I kind of got offline. That's okay. There we go. Turn it completely around. Line it up. And I hold the paper this way so that it doesn't scooch on me. 3 3/4. Try not to. There we go. Now that I've got everything scored away, I'm going to put up my Martha Stewart scoreboard. Working on a small area because my husband hasn't set up my work area just yet. Now, to see what I'm going to be cutting out, I'm going to mark it with a pen. That'd actually be easier to see on this side. So, draw some lines. Now I scored on the side that I want to be on the outside because I found that when I fold it up together or assemble it, it looks better. Anyway, so now you can see where I'm going to be cutting. I'm going to take my handy dandy tonic scissors that I just absolutely love, and I'm going to snip out these corners. I tried to do one of these earlier, but it ended up cutting off. I had to clean out my camera. I didn't realize I had so much on it. Last one. And then we get to assemble. I have really shaky hands sometimes. Sorry about that. And I'm just gonna scooch those off to the side. Put up my scissors. Now this brayer technique you can find on Tim Holtz's blog. Just go to timholtz.com, and it's TIMHOLTZ.com. And you can learn how to do this brayer effect. And like I said, I just spritzed the whole thing with that sparkle, because I think it gives it a really beautiful sparkle. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to flip it back over. And we're going to take our, sorry I hit the camera, our handy dandy Ranger bone folder. And I like to fold the short ends first, just because I find it easier. And I get these really beautiful crease lines. Or, I don't get a double crease line, because you see that there's a little ridge here, and when you fold off on that ridge, it just, I don't know, works out better. That's how everybody tells you to do it, so that's how I do it, and it works. So now you can kind of start to see the beginnings of our envelope. Now, this tip is touching the line, the score line. Now, for me to prevent it from crunching the corner, I like to take my corner rounders, corner rounder, and I like to round it, and it gives me just enough clearance. I like the rounded look. I'm crazy about it, I guess you could say. So I'm going to do it here too. Like that. Like that. I like to work with glossy accents because it works really well with paper. It dries pretty quick. And I'm just going to apply a pretty thin line right there and right there. Try not to get too close to the edge, because it's going to spread out when you put this together, and you don't want it to stick to the inside. Hold the small flaps down with your thumbs, fold this down and over, rub away. If it oozes out the sides, just wipe it away with your finger or a paper towel, whatever. And I use the thin lines of glue. Now you can use whatever favorite adhesive you like, but that's what I use. And so I've got this really cool card that I will probably end up using, or an envelope that I will end up using for a really cool card. But you will see that these beautiful vintage Valentine cards fit perfectly inside. Now, because they're so three-dimensionally embellished, I made this envelope the way I did so that it would compensate for these embellishments, so that when you end up folding this over and you can place a little sticker there or something, it's not going to smush your embellishments. They're pretty much going to look just as beautiful as when the card was outside. I've already made envelopes for these cards that I made from the magazine, which has disappeared on me. somewhere. And here's the other one that I made. The little locket key. In the instructions, it says to emboss these like with a machine, but I didn't have one, so what I did was I chose a complementary color to the inking I did on the outside, and I think I used brushed corduroy, and I just embossed it with clear embossing powder, and I think it came out nicely. So anyway, there are my cards and there are my envelopes using the Martha Stewart scoreboard. If you do not have a corner rounder, do not worry, just cut a straight edge and you'll still get that clearance that you want. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. Again, visit my new website, memorykeepsakesandtrinkets.com, where I have a blog, a gallery, and I'm working on uploading this video. Thank you and have a wonderful day.